Hey everybody, today's day 20. Last vlog I said it was day 20, but it's really day 20 now. And I know it's not show until Wednesday, but I thought I would go ahead and go through my movie collection. And I have quite a lot, so this might take a while. See, I have all of them there. Anyway, but I thought it might be fun anyway. I don't know, I like doing stuff like this. I did this with my CD collection, so I don't know. Anyway, first up, Along Came Polly. This film is pretty depressing, actually, if I remember. I haven't seen it in a long time. But it's only good for one scene, and it's a scene where Ben Stiller spanks Jennifer Aniston. So, because Jennifer Aniston's hot, and she's getting spanked. And that's pretty much all it's good for. Okay, so let's see. We got the Bourne trilogy. Bourne Identity is in there somewhere. I don't know. But love these movies. Good stuff. Bourne Ultimatum is probably... Wait. Bourne Ultimatum is probably the best one, in my opinion. I think I like that one the most. But good stuff if you like stuff sort of like spy thriller, like not quite, shoot 'em up action movie, but like 007 type stuff. Sin City. I can't wait for the sequel to this movie. Big fan of Tarantino, as you'll see from the rest of my collection. Silent Hill, the movie. I know everybody bashed this. I thought it was great. I like Silent Hill. I thought visually they did a very good job. I think it's a very visually impressive movie with Pyramid Head and everything. I think that they got it really good. As far as the story goes, whatever. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, probably my favorite movie of all time. If you haven't seen this, okay, here's the deal. I know a lot of people who haven't seen this because they don't like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is an amazing actor in this movie, and this movie is awesome. It's a drama. Jim Carrey doesn't do any of his weird crap. That he doesn't do any of his Jim Carrey type stuff. So there are a lot of people that are freaked out by Jim Carrey. I don't understand it, but you need to see this anyway. And there's actually a couple other movies I have that Jim Carrey's in that you should see too. Even if you don't like him, you will like him. The Shining, probably my favorite horror movie of all time. Jack Nicholson is the man. He's the man. And Stanley Kubrick, so it's really long. And I've watched it with a couple people that have fallen asleep during it. Spencer's one of them. He's fallen asleep. I had to wake him up. We were watching with a couple other people that were dozing off too. But no, it's really good. Probably my favorite horror movie of all time, for sure. Scary movie. It's trash. I got it half-price books for $3. Shawshank Redemption. This is one of my favorite drama films ever, and I think it is one of the best movies of all time. It is one of my favorites, but I'd say objectively, it's one of the best of all time. I'm not much of a film critic though. Cabin Boy. This is terrible. My mom loves this movie. She's the only reason why I have it. She got it for me one time because she thinks Chris Elliott is hilarious. It's a horrible movie. Stranger Than Fiction. This is sort of like in the same vein of Eternal Sunshine, in that a lot of people hate Will Ferrell, but I promise you, even if you hate Will Ferrell, you'll probably like this movie because he doesn't do his weird Will Ferrell things. Now, I like Will Ferrell and I like Jim Carrey, but I also like them in these roles. Crash, you know what? I don't actually remember this movie. I remember it's good. It's really good. I just can't remember anything about it. I always think it's about a car crash. Is it about a car crash? Ludacris is in it. Anyway. Lost in Translation. I am a big fan of Scarlett Johansson. So this is her best movie. This is Scarlett Johansson's best movie. This is probably... I don't know. This might be Bill Murray's best movie. But I didn't actually... Okay, the first time I watched this, I didn't like it. The second time I watched it, I was like, this is pretty cool. And it's good once you decide to give up on Bill Murray getting with Scarlett Johansson. Once you decide to give up on that, it's good, because that's not what it's about. But the first time I watched it, I was like, but they didn't. Yeah, so I was frustrated. I think some other people felt the same way. Monsters Ball, Heath Ledger, Halle Berry. I think she won Best Actress for this, maybe. And Billy Bob Thornton actually gives a great performance too. Every Billy Bob Thornton movie I saw before this was stuff like Bad Santa, and I was just like, okay. And then I saw Sling Blade, and then I saw this movie because Sling Blade got me interested in this one. Pulp Fiction. Actually, I watched a scene from this afternoon. Not my favorite Tarantino movie, but really good. It's a classic movie of the 90s. Even if you're not, I think it's a good introduction to Tarantino. So if you've never seen a Tarantino movie, Pulp Fiction is the one to see. It's probably his most hailed effort. Pi, I actually haven't seen this yet, and it's not actually my movie. It's my friend Antonio's. He left it over here, and hasn't come back to get it. And I haven't watched it yet because I've been like, I don't know what it's about. But it looks pretty dark and depressing. I have the Godfather trilogy. I got this for like $5. I haven't watched it yet because they're really long. You have to set aside like 4 hours to watch the Godfather. Chicago, fun musical, pretty good. I like it. I'm not a big fan of musicals though. I know. I'm sorry. The Village. This is my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie. It is, and I don't care how much you bash it. This is the best movie that he's made, I think. Besides Sixth Sense, maybe. But I like this more than Signs for sure. I liked it more than Lady in the Water, obviously, and I definitely liked it more than The Happening. And Unbreakable, probably too. But this is fun. This is a fun movie. Once you get past the fact that it's not actually a horror film, which it's not, it's more of a thriller. Then I think you'll like it too. It's so good. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Hello, Sean Penn. American Psycho. This movie's badass. Christian Bale is badass. And this movie is one of my favorites. This is probably my top 5 of all time. I love this movie. Imagine Christian Bale with a chainsaw, naked, running down a hallway after a prostitute, and that's what this movie is. Okay. If that sounds appealing to you, you should watch it. Unbreakable. I already talked about this, kind of. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Fun with Dick and Jane. Another Jim Carrey movie that I think is good. Jim Carrey does some of his Jim Carrey stuff in it, but it's pretty. I liked it. I thought it was funny. And usually I get annoyed with Jim. Okay, oh my god, The Room. This is the worst movie of all time. This movie is great. If you like bad movies, oh my god, just look up scenes from this on YouTube. Just type in The Room in the search bar. It is gold. It is awesome. If you like Troll 2, The Room, go for it. Oh, the worst acting. The guy who wrote it also lead acted and directed, and it's just gold. Okay, Saturday Night Live, Best of Dana Carvey. I'm not really a big fan of Dana Carvey. Basket Case. This is a 80s B movie about a conjoined twin who is homicidal, and he's carried around in a basket. And I think all the blood stuff on the back kind of explains that. Dead Alive. This is directed by Peter Jackson, who is obviously the guy who directed the Lord of the Rings movies and is directing The Hobbit coming up. This is probably one of the goriest movies of all time, and it's awesome. It's awesome. It's just a really fun gore fest. It's kind of a zombie movie, not really though. It's great. It's called Dead Alive, but it has another title that it goes under. I can't remember what it is. Girl Interrupted. Okay, this has Winona Ryder and Angelina Jolie. I know I did that backwards, but Angelina Jolie is actually terrific in this movie. It's about they're in a mental institution, and Angelina Jolie is great. I'm not an Angelina Jolie fan, but she's great in this movie. Winona Ryder is okay, but overall it's a good movie. It's sort of like a female One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I guess. The Black Dahlia. This movie sucked. I'm not even going to talk about it. It had Scarlett Johansson, but it couldn't get past that. A Knight's Tale, obviously. Heath Ledger. This is like the Heath Ledger movie, besides The Dark Knight. So there you go. Okay. I got this when I turned 18. I was like, I need to get something that's just smut, and so I got this, and it's actually not that smutty. There's nudity and porn stars and stuff in it. This is the unrated version, of course. And by the way, this is completely photoshopped. In case you're like 15 and you're like, whoa, yeah, photoshopped. Yeah, she doesn't look like that. But Alicia Cuthbert's still hot. Anyway, this also has Paul Dano in it, the guy from Little Miss Sunshine. And everybody says I look like him. So, anyway, but no, it's actually not that bad. It's not actually much of a sex romp as it was marketed as, I think. The Prestige, another Christian Bale awesome film, and Scarlett Johansson is in this too. Okay, this it's Christopher Nolan, so it's just automatically good. Christopher Nolan is, of course, the director of Inception and The Dark Knight and all that, and so watch this movie. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Man, I sound like a fanboy about every film that I own, but Jesus. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, if you haven't seen this, I think... Okay, I hate Michael Cera. But I love this movie. I watched it on a whim with my ex-girlfriend. She wasn't my ex-girlfriend at the time. We were going on a date. And she was like, "You want to see Scott Pilgrim vs. the World?" And I was like, "I don't know what that is." And she was like, "I don't know either." And then we got into the theater, because I hadn't seen any commercials for it. I was living under a rock or something. And she was like, "Oh, this has Michael Cera in it." And I was like, "Oh!" And I almost walked out. But then, like, something silly happened. I can't remember. And then I was like, "Oh, wait. This sounds like Beck." And it was. What is going on? Okay. But yeah, it's really good. The Color of Money, Paul Newman, awesome. And Tom Cruise, it's more about Paul Newman. This is the sequel to The Hustler, which is in like a I think it's a circa 1960 movie featuring Paul Newman. This was like 25 years later. It's about pool, basically. And I do have the DVD in there, but I also have Snatch. I don't own Snatch. Maybe it was a 2-for-1 deal. But Snatch is a good movie, too. I like Brad Pitt. Thank You for Smoking. It's good. It's pretty boring, though. Aaron Eckhart is okay. And it doesn't really contain any noteworthy performances. It's okay. Malibu's Most Wanted. This movie is trash. Jamie Kennedy sucks. Love Actually. Probably my favorite romantic comedy. Besides maybe When Harry Met Sally. That one's good, too. But I've seen this maybe 4 or 5 times. It's getting kind of old. And this is the guy from The Walking Dead. Check it out. He's British, by the way. He has to do that American accent. Princess Mononoke. I'm not a big anime fan, but this is the shit. Okay. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Classic Jack Nicholson's movie. I love Jack Nicholson, and he's great. He is good, and he's good in every movie he's in. Except for maybe Anger Management. That was, Okay, let's see. Mystic River, Clint Eastwood film, featuring Sean Penn, Tim Robbins. He was in The Shawshank Redemption, of course. He was also in Jacob's Ladder and a couple other movies I like. Oh, God, he's great in this movie. Sean Penn is, of course, Sean Penn, but, yeah, just... That's a depressing, dark movie, but it's great. Watchmen, I think everyone knows what this is about. It's good. As Good as It Gets, Jack Nicholson, again. This is more of a lighthearted role than I think he usually plays. It's not really a romantic comedy. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's good, though. What is this? Hot Rod. If you like Andy Samberg, you'll like this. But it's not all about Andy Samberg. It also has, what is her name? Borat's wife, Isla Fisher. Isla Fisher's hot. And Bill Hader's really good in this movie, too. Basically, it's like an SNL movie. Rescuers Down Under, one of my favorite childhood cartoons. I don't have the original Rescuers, and actually I don't have this one, because you know what? When I moved out of the house that I was in the spring, some of my roommates watched it without my permission, and they stuck in the DVD player, and it's still in a DVD player in their new house in the attic. So I don't have it, and it makes me really mad. Troll and Troll 2, classic B movie. Troll is actually better than Troll 2. Troll 2 is just horrible. It has nothing to do with the first Troll. These have nothing to do with each other. They just have similar titles. There's also 2 Troll 3s that have nothing to do with these, but we won't get into that. Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange. Big fan of A Clockwork Orange. This is a dark movie. There's like a rape scene, and it's I believe when it was originally released, it was rated NC-17, but somehow it's down to an R rating here. I'm pretty sure it was NC-17 when it was originally released, because when you watch it, you're like, "There's no way this is R." Like, it's pretty brutal, but it's really good. I think if you can handle most Stanley Kubrick films, you can handle that one. Big Lebowski, classic comedy, Coen Brothers. I love White Russians, and I love Jeff Bridges. And Jeff Bridges is not acting in this movie; he's just being himself. John Goodman is probably he probably has the best performance in this movie, though. I have the Resident Evil trilogy. I actually forgot that I had this. The only one worth watching is the first one. And that's barely true. They're coming out with like a sixth one this year. Was it fifth, sixth? I've lost. They need to stop. They need to stop with the Resident Evil movies. Resident Evil 6, the trailer just... I'll get to that. Whatever. Taken. Whenever I have any friends that are girls that are going to Europe, which is actually more often than you would think, I always tell them watch Taken. And they've never seen it. Of course they've never seen it. Why else would they be going to Europe? The Strangers, this is actually not my movie. I did not buy it for $10. But it's pretty scary. It's kind of slow, though. Most of the time, they're just sitting around being like, "What was that noise?" You know. Donnie Darko, classic movie. Starring Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, this is kind of a fun... I still don't get this movie. I still don't get it. You know what? I talk about it like I love it, but I still don't get it. I don't get it. Okay. Reservoir Dogs. This is probably my second favorite Tarantino movie. Yeah, Tim Roth is good in this movie. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I wish Tarantino would stop trying to act in his movies, though. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't know what to say. It's just a slasher. And this is the new one with Jessica Biel. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. Jessica Biel. Okay, The Ice Harvest. It's bad. It's bad. There's only one part of it that I thought was funny. It was a line by Billy Bob Thornton. I'll talk about it some other time. Fight Club. One of my favorite movies. This is probably my favorite Brad Pitt movie. As Tyler Durden, because like when I watched this, I was like, Tyler Durden's badass. Like, and then I was like, oh, it's just, oh wait, well I'm not gonna ruin it. If you haven't seen Fight Club, there's a twist. Okay, and I just went out and I got some more movies. So these are my latest acquisitions. The Outsiders. Of course, I got these all used. Haven't seen this in a while, but it's a classic '80s movie, starring Tom Cruise, Matt Dillon, Patrick Swayze, who's dead now, Rob Lowe, Ralph Macchio, who of course was the Karate Kid. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola. It's good stuff. Emilio Estevez, there he is. Okay, yeah. So good stuff. Can't wait to watch that again. A Few Good Men. As you can tell, I love Jack Nicholson. Unfortunately, a lot of the movies that I have that contain badass actors like Paul Newman or Jack Nicholson have to contain Tom Cruise as well. But this is the You Can't Handle the Truth movie, and so I want to see that. I've never seen it. 3:10 to Yuma. I love Christian Bale. He's awesome, and Russell Crowe's good in this movie too. I've seen it before, but I want to own it, so that if someone ever enters my apartment and is like, I've never seen 3:10 to Yuma, I can be like, well, let's watch it. Devil's Rejects. This is probably my favorite Rob Zombie movie. I like it more than the original House of Thousand Corpses. It's just this is a brutal movie though. Like it's pretty brutal, but it's also fun at the same time. I don't know how to. You just have to be a fan of horror movies, basically. Lakeview Terrace. I never saw this movie. I've heard that it sucks, but it's got Samuel L. Man. Come on. V for Vendetta, I never saw this either. Natalie Portman's bald. I want to see what the big deal is. Plus, Anonymous has been doing all this stuff lately, and I want to, I don't know, the masks, whatever. Seven, never seen this. It's a psychological thriller, apparently. Starring Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, so it seems promising, and a lot of my friends have been bringing it up, before, like, have you seen Seven? And I have to be like, no. So, there you go. And finally, History of Violence with Viggo Mortensen. I like Viggo Mortensen. Have you seen The Road? Oh my, good stuff. So I want to watch this. There you go. So that's all of them. It only took 20 minutes for me to go through all of them. And congratulations if you stuck through it to the end. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.